Brittany.
And Lisa, thanks for watching Liqueur.
You can follow us on liqueur.us on Instagram. And you can also follow us on YouTube and subscribe, of course.
Subscribe. Thank you for watching our videos. So we're excited today. We're going to review Selling Sunset, which was really funny. I binged it like all the way. It was, I liked it more than I thought, and it definitely went in a different direction than I thought. So warning, there are spoilers ahead. So if you haven't seen it, maybe just save this video and come back to it later.
Yes.
But you'll want to watch it.
Yes. So when I first started watching this was like one of those rare Saturday afternoon watches when I was just looking for something just to kind of pass the time, and I didn't think that I was going to get into the character or the real people. It's a reality show.
It is a reality show. It's a reality show of gorgeous women selling really expensive real estate in like LA, Beverly Hills.
Yes.
They're a little rough around the edges though, but you know, some airbrush makeup did make them, make them good.
It helped.
Clean them up.
Season 2 was better.
Season 2. So season 1, I think it was more about like the houses, kind of what they were doing, a little, of course, their personal life, but it was definitely more like, I think it was more house porn for sure.
Right. Oh, good.
Yes.
Good. If you love watching HGTV and watching beautiful homes being redecorated or done, this is not that. The homes are already done. They're gorgeous. They're beautiful, and they show you all of the landscape and everything. They get all into the closet, so it's really good for that. But yeah, the first season is definitely Chriselle. Comes to work
She's a new girl
at the agency, and they are not necessarily feeling her, and she's really sweet and wholesome.
She's really sweet. She's also a movie star wife.
Yes.
A Hollywood wife.
Yes.
So
wasn't she an actress herself?
I think she tried a little bit, but then she said real estate she was definitely more successful in. So I thought it was really great. She still had a hustle, and she was like, she could have obviously stayed home and done nothing.
Yes.
Which is great. Not knocking it.
She's married, or she was married to the guy on This Is Us.
The Manny.
The
Manny guy.
The hot guy. And well, spoilers ahead.
Yeah. So season 1 recap was, I think, more about Mary getting married, right?
Yes.
So
or getting engaged.
Getting engaged. Okay.
Right.
So she was getting engaged to this younger guy, which the other girls really weren't like too supportive of.
Yeah.
And then Chriselle was the new girl on the block, and they were giving her a hard time.
Yeah.
And then just a little bit of like, and then Davina was really weird and awkward in season 1 too. Like she just was a little.
I didn't like Davina from the get-go, but I mean, I usually am a good judge of character, honey, and I could read all of that.
It was definitely, I think, more about the houses, and then their personal lives. I was like, whatever, okay. Season 2, though, they stepped it up. I think this went beyond classic Mean Girl.
Oh.
It was not, I think it brought out the evil bitches, black soul, like it was awful.
So Christine, I love her to death because her style is on point, but that girl she was not loved as a child. She's mean.
She is really mean.
She is really, and I mean, jeez, I love a mean girl, but honey,
So season two, of course, they go back to the big properties they were trying to sell.
Yeah.
But Christine is planning her wedding now.
Yeah, so now she's engaged.
So all the girls are kind of getting engaged. So Heather is obsessed with name dropping her boyfriend because he has a reality show too. Yeah. So, but she's working it. She's been on his reality TV show, and like every People magazine, she's like in. She's working it.
She's not my favorite.
But the only thing I really remember her from this season was she was talking about her bush. Remember, she was like obsessed with her pubic hair, and then like she called like people to have them like show pictures of her making cookies with his kids. That's all I really remember.
I remember her being mean to the new black girl who's on season 3 now. And she's the newest member to join the agency on season 3, and I can't remember her name. I don't know.
Amanda.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she was just kind of snippy to Amanda when she tried to help her, but Amanda was a little late. Come on, Amanda. Come on, girl. Yeah. And
they weren't having it.
And they've been giving Amanda a hard time because she has a little drama in her personal life. But I just Heather.
Yeah. So okay, so Heather has that, and then Amanda has kids, which none of the other ladies have. So I don't think most of them were very sympathetic when she had real issues pop up, and then they, you know what? None of these girls had girl code.
No.
Not all of them. Most of them. So you had Mary, Chriselle, and Amanda like on kind of like one team, and then you had Heather, Christine, and Davina on the other.
How
on
we
the
forget
other
her?
So, which is normal, you know. Some people click more than others. So, anyways, Christine's planning her wedding.
Yes.
Which is of course over the top. Well, at the same time, Chriselle is going through a divorce.
She just finds out that in one day her husband tells her, "Oh, I filed for divorce." Like
via
out of
text.
the blue, via text. Sir, have you no decency?
So, and then of course, Mary and Amanda are like, "Oh my gosh!" They like bring her flowers. They call her, like they go over there and sit with her.
They're supporting her.
And the other girls, what do?
They talk about her. They start little rumors. Oh, she probably knew about it. There's two sides to every story.
So if you're like if someone is going through a divorce, the first thing you don't say is, "Oh, well, there's got to be two sides." Like,
no.
You gotta be like, "Are you okay? I'm so sorry."
Like, who does that?
Yeah. So that was pretty awful. And then I think Christine started to like stir the pot, and like I think she was planting the little like.
Oh, she definitely planted the seeds, and then Davina picked it up and started hoeing the grounds for her. Like I was like, "Girl, come on now! You don't see what's happening? She's using you as her minion to like be evil for her."
And then Christine was wondering, why isn't she going to be at my bachelorette party? Is she coming to my wedding? I mean, it's like the event of the year.
She
like,
just found out she's getting a divorce. Why would she want to come to a wedding and see two people get married?
Plus, you don't want to be the girl going through a divorce crying like at someone's wedding.
Exactly.
So that was when she said that, I was like, and then Davina brought it up at Christine's wedding. So Chriselle made the effort. She came alone. She came to Christine's wedding to support her. You know, obviously she'd lost a lot of weight. She was really going through it. And then Davina before, someone was asking her something and she's like, legally I can't really talk about it because he's a public person and there's some stuff I legally am not supposed to talk about it. The next line, Davina's like, well, there's two sides. And she can't have a comeback. She can't say anything because she just said, I can't talk about it.
She's just wrong. I'm sorry, but Davina, girl, if that was me, honey, I would have let you have it. Okay? All of it.
So I was just like, oh my God. Like, you can't come back from that. No. I don't think you can come back from that. And then everyone's talking about Chriselle, like, at the table.
No.
And, like,
she had no choice but to get up and leave.
Yeah. So Mary, who's actually normally non-confrontational, like Mary's really,
she doesn't want to get into any arguments or disputes. She tries to like kind of play both sides.
She was like, "What is wrong with you?"
Yeah, she got really upset.
There is no other option. Like, she's our friend. We love her. We're Team Chriselle. Like, what other team are you talking about?
We should be on her side no matter what.
And they were like, well, and she's like, no, there is no well, like, that's it. And they just were not.
So that brings me to this topic. There are two people who get married, right? They're your friends. You hang out with them all the time. Then they decide they're going to get divorced. Who do you choose?
Well, maybe ideally there would be like a timeshare option, like where you could be with one friend. I'm just kidding. Well, you're friends with both, right?
Right.
Or were you like, who are you more friends with?
So that's the question, I think. It depends. Who met who through whom?
But then sometimes the relationship can change. Like, you can have a friend and be close with them.
Right.
And then maybe you become closer with their spouse. No? Over time. Maybe it's over years.
I don't know. I think if you are close with the lady, the female portion of the spouse, let's say it's a heterosexual couple, then you should, as a female, I should support her.
Yeah.
I don't know that you become closer with the spouse of your female friend.
But what if you know the guy Maybe y'all grew up together.
If
y'all
you
were
know
friends.
him first, then that's different.
And then maybe, you know, he gets married and you become really close friends with her. Maybe y'all are, you know, going on girls trips and like hanging out, and then it's divorce. Maybe your kids are even friends with each other.
I think you just have to keep it separate.
Yeah.
I think you have to just like, I'm talking to this person, I'm only friends with this person. When I see you, I'm your friend. And then when I see the other half of you, who's no longer together, then I'm only friends with you. I'm not gonna share anything that the other spouse has told me. I think you have to just really keep it separate.
That's tough, because you know they both might talk about the other person, and
it's either that or choose one.
Yeah, I do think it's easier to choose one. No? Maybe.
No, it is. It is.
Like
just cut the other one loose.
Yeah.
They're dead to me.
Yeah, but if you know someone, don't be on the other person's side when you don't even know that person.
Exactly.
Yeah, especially when that person, I mean, and you know what, even if they were like, ultimately I don't like Rochelle, I'm not really feeling her, she still's got to be going through some hurt. She's still, you know, really, really upset, and probably,
I can't imagine.
even if you know your marriage is on the rocks,
It
you
still
don't
hurts.
expect someone to be like, oh, I filed for divorce.
Not
you
via
know?
text
No.
message. That requires like a whole weekend, like we're not going anywhere. I need to spend the weekend in the house and tell my spouse that it's over.
Yeah.
Like we need to talk it through, cry it out, work things emotionally out, and not a text message. And then she just had to pack her stuff and leave the house.
Right.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why did she have to leave? Why can't he leave?
I don't know.
I'd have thrown all his shit out on the lawn. I'm just saying. He would have come home and it would all been on the lawn, honey. On fire.
Yeah.
Don't try me.
So, well, you know what though? I mean, she's very sweet. So obviously this is going to be something that kind of, it lets you know who your real friends are. It lets you know the truth about love, and you know, and
I mean, she was all like, I'm still in love with him, and she was
Yeah.
crying, and I was crying, and I'm like, I don't even know you, and I'm crying. I don't even know this guy, I'm crying. It was sad.
It was, and then I think, I mean, obviously the other girls, some of them were really jealous, because why would you really hate on someone getting divorced so bad? Like,
oh, I think Christine secretly, because she kept bringing up the fact that Heather is also in a high-profile relationship, and you know, Michelle's in a high-profile relationship, and she kept bringing, well, they're probably calling the paparazzi on themselves.
Yeah.
No, honey, you want to be famous, obviously, and you want to be in this type of relationship where the paparazzi are chasing you around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she was just projecting her inner jealousy on the other ladies.
But she was smart. She had the other girls go in, like, she like scratched the surface and like drew some blood, and then she had the other girls like, just go at it.
Yeah, she had some mean girl skills. I'm not gonna lie. The skills are good.
But Davina's black soul came out. Like when she brought it up at the wedding.
She is not, I don't like anything about her. Like even when she tries to be nice, I just don't buy it. I'm not buying it.
But her wardrobe was better this season than last season. It was a little better.
It was a little better.
Except she had like sweat stains on her dress when she was in one of the meeting with that admin guy. Yeah, that was not good. But anyways, you know, some people, like, you have to like give it to them on a curve, like grade on a curve. For her, it was good. So I'm rooting for Chriselle in the next season.
We're rooting for you, girl. We're rooting for you.
Obviously, we know that Heather is engaged now, so that will be another wedding on the next season.
That's gonna be a whole another season where she's planning her wedding.
And then also, the girl that in Miami. Her family's in Miami.
Oh.
Yeah, she might be leaving to start her own thing.
She's having another baby, so she's probably gonna. I think she should leave personally.
So, like, I think this season too, the women were starting to realize, you know what, maybe I do contribute a lot to this business, and maybe I could do things on my own.
Yeah.
Obviously,
they can be their own brokers. I mean, I love the guys. The guys are great in the show, and obviously they're great at what they do. But why can't women have their own brokerage? Why do they actually need those guys?
Well, they're twins. Twinning. Just kidding.
Two little twins.
Well, good things come in small packages, I guess. So hopefully we'll see them kind of, you know, really even come more into their own, and Chriselle coming back, and then it'll be interesting to see how the alliances will play out a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like Davina needs to go down personally.
Oh, but I will say, Romaine, so Davina gave him a lot of shit. Gave Mary a lot of shit because, you know, she said that he was using her and not contributing.
Right.
And Romaine was like, I told you about that, babe.
But you know what?
He called it.
He was right. He was like, at first I'm like, he's being a little mean to Davina for no reason. Yeah. And he's being kind of harsh. No, he was right. She's a snake.
Yeah, and then Mary, you know, was like telling what was going on. He's like, I told you she was a snake.
I was like, okay, Romaine, okay.
And but at least he's like, I told you. So that was funny. That was funny. So any other favorite parts?
I just really enjoy looking at all the pretty houses. I mean, that's a whole nother character in the show. If you just enjoy watching luxury and pretty things, and you like wishing upon a star, or even getting some inspiration for your own house, you should definitely watch Selling Sunset on Netflix.
Yes.
And check it out.
All right, so stay tuned. We're going to try to figure out our next thing to watch and review. So don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for following us. Bye.